some similar activity. Unless we do that, there is no future. Another important thing, how we portray ourselves. I always say that ethics, how you portray, how you come on social media. Social media is catching up fast, and we have a lot of people on social media who are for us, and even more exponentially high people who are against people like us. You know, we understand, as an aviculturist, a bird lover, that we transport birds, we need to transport them in smaller cages, not just because of financial cost, also because the smaller the cage, the bird is, or the animal is restrained so that they don't hurt themselves. You know, hitting, flying around in the small cage. But when you take a photograph of that cage and post it on Facebook, you know, I got this 5 pairs. Come on, man. You're putting yourself in trouble, and I give a damn about you if you're putting yourself in trouble. Don't put us into trouble. Please do not post such photos. We understand that that is right, but a person, the extremists, you know, NGOs, they don't understand. I'm a vegetarian, you know. Earlier I couldn't stand people on the same table if they were eating non-veg. Was I wrong? No, I'm not wrong, because those are my beliefs. So these activists are not wrong in their point of view. They are seeing the animal is getting tortured. That is what they see in the small cage. Can you blame them? We say the NGOs are against us. We are creating them against us. Yes, they are extremists in them, true. You know, yeah, we will counter them. But then, why are we instigating them? Why are we doing something that is hurting them? You think those NGOs are people only hell-bent upon wiping us out? Do they have personal enmity with us? No. They are lovers themselves, but their thought process is different than ours. We need to respect that thought process, try to live with them. You know, we are angry about activities they do, they are angry about activities that we do. So I'm going to try and wrap that up fast, because that's not my topic here today. But then everywhere I go, I feel that unless I pass this message across, you know, there is no use of having such conventions, because this is a dying hobby, passion, knowledge, and unless we counter these things, there is no use of learning something which will die out. So, the topic today that I have been given is about incubation. Tony Silva, sir, has already covered a big chunk of it, but then I'll try to go more into detail about incubation. Please feel free to stop me whenever you have a doubt. Don't have to wait till the end. I'll be more than happy to reply, but try and do it just when I'm ending the slide. You know, I'm getting old and I lose my chain of thoughts and then I forget what I was talking about. So, slide 1. That's one. Okay. Let's start with natural incubation. What happens in the nature? Everything that I'm going to talk about today, I'm always going to relate with what is happening in nature. Is everyone okay with English, or some people want it in Hindi? Anyone wants it in Hindi? Okay. So, मैं जितना हो सके कोशिश करूँगा कि नेचर क्या बोलते हैं? कुदरत में क्या होता है? ओके, मेरी हिंदी इतनी अच्छी नहीं होगी जो जबकि मैं हिंदी बात करता हूँ घर पे. कोशिश जरूर करूँगा, एंड गुड, आई शुड लर्न दैट वे टू स्पीक एटलीस्ट इन पब्लिक में. तो कम से कम हिंदी बात करने की मेरे को क्षमता होनी चाहिए थोड़ी बहुत. एनीवेज, सो कुदरत में क्या होता है, जंगल में क्या होता है, what happens in wild and nature is what I try and promote. And हमें वही चीज़ inside our setup, हम जो कर रहे हैं हमें उसमें भी वही चीज़ लाने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए. तो incubation point of view, काफ़ी तरह की चिड़िया हैं, काफ़ी तरह के अंडे देते हैं, अलग साइज के, अलग तरह से उसमें बच्चे निकलते हैं. तो उसमें कौन कौन से हैं? एक होता है अपनी मुर्गी ले लो, take hens for example, take ducks for example, the pheasants. You know what is different? They lay a clutch of eggs, 4 eggs, 8 eggs, 12 eggs. वो लोग अंडे में एक साथ नहीं बैठते, स्टार्टिंग से नहीं बैठते हुए आते. They lay one egg, then they wait, they cover the egg. दूसरा अंडा ले करते हैं, तीसरा अंडा ले करते हैं, चौथा अंडा ले करते हैं, एंड देन अराउंड कहीं बीच में वो अंडे पे धीरे धीरे बैठना शुरू करती है. पैरेट्स को देख लो, दूसरी चिड़िया जो है उड़ने वाली, पैरेट्स हो, सॉफ्ट बिल्स हो, वो पहले अंडा से या फिर सेकेंड अंडे से बैठना शुरू कर देती है. नॉर्मली फर्स्ट अंडा, बट समटाइम्स इवन सेकेंड एग, तब वो अंडे पे बैठना शुरू करती है. जो चिड़िया अंडे पे एक साथ जो अंडे दे के बैठती है, नॉर्मली वो चिड़िया काफी हद तक इंडिपेंडेंट, दे आर क्वाइट इंडिपेंडेंट इन सर्टेन वेज. उनकी आंख खुली होती है, सो इट्स अ सिंक्रोनाइज्ड इंक्यूबेशन एंड सिंक्रोनाइज्ड हैचिंग. उसमें जो बच्चे पैदा होते हैं, दे आर टू अ सर्टेन एक्सटेंट दे आर इंडिपेंडेंट. यू नो, माँ बाप उन्हें सिर्फ सिखाते हैं कैसे खाना खाते हैं. दे डोंट फीड द बेबीज, unlike parrots, which we most of us keep, our soft bills, in which the parents are fed food by the chicks are fed food by the parents. But why am I talking about this? I am talking about this because our topic is incubation. So we have to understand, lot of us cannot afford multiple incubators, you know. But then thanks to Likey, we have Arcom, and we have, you know, few of his Asian incubators which are quite reasonably priced. But then if you compare them with Inca incubators the Israeli make, they are very expensive. They go into almost $1 lakh plus. So it's not possible for everyone to afford those incubators. But when you are keeping eggs, what is happening? I told you, remember, जहाँ पे अंडे एक साथ होते हैं, incubation बीच में start होता है, लेकिन जब बच्चे निकलते हैं करीबन एक साथ निकलते हैं. You know, when they hatch out within a span of 12 hours or 24 hours, or some case 48 hours के span में सारे बच्चे hatch हो जाते हैं. That's one of the reasons why day-old chicks can stay without food and water up to 48 hours, because they are waiting for the other eggs to hatch out. So, what is happening in the egg is that the eggs are communicating with each other. There is absolutely no proof scientifically, it cannot be proved. But then the eggs are coordinating with each other, telling, boss, I am hatching out, are you ready? One egg is telling the second egg. Why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because if you have an incubator and you keep placing eggs inside that over a span of time, you know, because during the breeding season we get eggs almost every day. So if you start placing eggs of various species, and completely different species, if you keep poultry eggs or pigeon eggs or parrot eggs, you know, together, you're going to have some difficulty during hatching, because some eggs will start communicating and informing other eggs to hatch out, even though they are not ready. That's when you will have a lot of eggs hatching out with yolk sac still attached or dead in shell, and lot of such activity. There are multiple other reasons. So that's one of the reasons why I was talking about synchronized and unsynchronized hatching. So when we are placing eggs, try and keep multiple incubators with you, ताकि this kind of a issue does not happen. And आपके जो अंडे आप place कर रहे हो, you try and keep them in clutches, in batches, so that their hatching is more or less similar to each other. Then again, of course, the parrots, the eggs and which are incubated by parrots, always, most of the 99% of the times, the babies are born naked, or they have just some fur on them. They are fed by parents. उसमें एक चीज आप notice करोगे, the eggs there are turned more frequently. If few of you have cameras installed inside your nest boxes, you'll notice that the eggs in parrot eggs and these eggs, softbill eggs, are turned much more often than your poultry eggs. जो asynchronized unsynchronized hatching होता है, eggs होते हैं, उसमें turning काफी कम होता है, और synchronized में कम होता है. So that is something that you need to do, so that आप जब incubation कर रहे हो, you can program your machine, or if you are doing a manual turning, you have to keep that in mind. Slide 2. Now, incubation, I'm going to speak about general incubation, but every species, there is some difference about incubation. आप हॉकेट को इंक्यूबेट कर रहे हो, आप गाला को इंक्यूबेट कर रहे हो, they are two extremes. You know, आप अगर उनको सेम इंक्यूबेटर में इंक्यूबेट करने की कोशिश करोगे, chances of success will go down by almost 60-70%. Yeah, if you take a middle ground, then maybe your chances will be as high as 60%, but there will be huge mortality. Your eggs will die dead in shell. So there are a lot of species. How do you identify those? The most common is finding out which region those birds come from. We have birds coming from, dry forest land, desert kind of arid lands. We have birds coming from tropical rainforest, and then we have birds coming from high altitude areas. All these have a role to play. But apart from this, you have to keep in mind where your birds were raised. Which